Hi everyone, and welcome to another video. And today we have the ThinkPad X1 Carbon Gen 10. For a few years, the X1 Carbon was Lenovo's flagship. In the recent years, I think, in my experience, it's not the top of the line business device because I do like more power than the U or P series of CPUs, but it's still one capable device for an office user, someone who needs the day-to-day device and does not need such a powerhouse of a device. I'll open it up with you. It's already opened up because I created another video with another language, but trust me, it's the same experience. I tried to make it the same experience for you, so please appreciate it. It's hard to do a few videos in different languages and showing people the thoughts on two different videos. So let's just start unwrapping. So this year, the X1 comes with many recycled parts, like this one. I never saw any box with the floppy parts coming apart of it. And over here we have the device, which I'll try to pull with one hand. And we just have down there the charger, which I don't think is needed for this video. And again, the recycled materials. I do like the idea behind it, and it really feels good. I don't feel like because it's recycled, it's not any more expensive than it used to be. I just like the idea of it being recycled. More Lenovo's drafts and stuff that most of us just don't care about. An envelope. What's inside the envelope? Maybe someone said, thank you for buying another Lenovo. And another guide for using a device, which by this point, I think all of us already know how to do so. But that's the device. Now we need to open it up. It still sticks. You see, I try hard. So here it is, the X1 Lenovo X1 Carbon Gen 10. I've been waiting for it ever since it came out, because the idea behind the X1 line is having a lightweight and a pretty useful device. Kind of a Swiss knife type of a device. Well, this one fits the title very good. Let's start with the ports. So on the right side we have a Kensington lock, USB, which can be used for charging devices while it's turned off, a SIM, or you can say a WAN connectivity. You can insert a SIM with a network plan and you can use it just like your cell phone. And an aux for your headphones, which we don't see so many in the recent years because of some giant companies which thinks for us what is the best. Never mind. Over here we have one and another one, Type-C, Thunderbolt, Gen 4. Another USB and an HDMI port. You might think I'm overreacting over the HDMI, but I already saw a few devices that don't come with an HDMI, and when you're having this kind of device, you want to go to a meeting and have an HDMI port here, not with a dongle. Never mind. Let's just open it up. So this is the Lenovo with the new keyboard. I don't know how much you can see from the video, but over here they became a little bit squarey. It's square, but over here you can see still the smile part of the keyboard. Of course, a fingerprint reader. Why wouldn't we have it? And over here, I'll try to put it next to the video. A camera with a shutter we can use and shut it and turn it on. I think this device looks exactly like the previous version. There is nothing really, there is not any major change between this and the previous version, which is kind of sad, because I, for myself anyways, likes to see a change every now and then, but not with this one. If you have the device, you need to use it. So this device has the full HD version with the touch screen. I know someone might say, why did you get the 4K? Well, I don't think that the device that's this small needs a 4K. I really don't. And if I'm using it for touch, then fine, but why would I need 4K? The colors might be better, but the panels today already became so good. I just like it this way. I think that Full HD, for me, with laptop is just enough. So just the same. They are not too short. They are fine. Glass Series trackpad. I like it. But I guess that's what I can say about this device. But what about the fan? Well, the fans are really small. Look, my finger just... I'm kind of person that's laughing about this part of the device if it doesn't have enough air vent, but fine. It shouldn't be so hard for it to work. It's pretty lightweight. I think this year this device became a little bit more weighted, but it's still good. I do have another thing to show you today, which is X1's brother. Well, it's not its brother, it's from its family. So this year in particular, we have the X1 Carbon and the T14 Gen 3. What do you think about each and one of them? Let's see. Both of them are with touch screen. Both of them with a full HD. Both of them are with full HD screen, touch. They have pretty much the same size of a screen, pretty much the same keyboard. I think it's the same keyboard. So here it is. Both of them on the same video. We don't see it that much often. So what do you think about each one of them? Who should get which device? So basically, if you like having the best overall device and you don't need that many ports available for you at any moment, then you can go with the X1. But if you can handle a few extra grams, you pretty much should go with this guy. They both have the same CPU. They both have pretty much the same RAM. Well, not the same RAM. This one is 32 by limit, This one is limited for, I think, 48 or 64 by this year. I'm not sure. But yeah, both of these devices are fine. What about ports? Let's put the X1 above the T. Kensington's USBs 1. I think with this one we have the one behind it. Yeah, you see it's over here, so we're not missing it. And an aux, a card reader. And over here, we do have the audio jack. 2 Type-C ports, USB, HDMI, and an Ethernet port. So why would someone go with the X1? That's a good question. That's for the traditional manager who likes to go with less weight, more looks, and just an overall fine device. Which, by the way, if we'll go beneath the devices, you'll see that this one have much more vents for it, so it would work better than this one. I don't get it. Go with the T14, don't go with the X1. But yeah, you get it.